Viewers, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about LAD. This was invented or discovered by the greatest linguist, Noam Chomsky. He talks about LAD in details, are also interpreted in different ways philosophically. In every human being, you have a machine, a software, as told by Noam Chomsky, named LAD, Language Acquisition Device. Before I talk about LED, I should remind you that the most important things are usually free. God has given you the most important things free. Suppose the most important thing is oxygen. Without it, you cannot survive, and you don't pay for it. Every time you have this, every second you have it. And the second most important free thing is water. Without water, you can live for a day or two or something like that. Uh, and it's almost free. In rural area, it's absolutely free. You just have to uh, set up a tube oil. In a town like Dhaka, you have contaminated water. That's why you need to spend some money on water. Basically, water is free. The third thing that you have, most important at the same time free, is the mother tongue. You're born and gradually you learn the language automatically. You hear your parents, the surroundings, and you try to listen and try to understand the language. And in course of time, after 1 year, you can start talking in that language, maybe one word, maybe two words, maybe three words, like that. So gradually you can acquire the language. And the young children watch Hindi movies, Hindi programs, and they also acquire Hindi language. So Hindi language to many children, many boys and girls, is also free. But one thing is important, that is English. English is an international language. That's why everybody wants to learn English, but unfortunately nobody can acquire this language. It's all only because people want to learn English. But learning a language is impossible. It's too difficult. That's why it needs to be acquired with the help of LAD. LAD is usually for first language acquisition, but it can also be used for second language acquisition, other languages as well. As you watch movies, programs in Hindi, you learn the language very easily. You don't even need to learn it, but you learn it automatically. When I talk to my students, how did you learn Hindi? They said they did not learn it, they just got it because they watched Hindi programs. And then I ask, why don't you know English? They say it's difficult. But I say no, it's all because you wanted to learn the language. As you did not want to learn Bangla, Hindi, you learned it. As you want to learn English, you can't learn because the machine will do it automatically. That's the point. But if you go to school, they go about, the teachers go about grammar, different techniques. They teach students vocabulary separately, spelling separately, different things separately, voice, narration, different grammatical items, but they don't work when they speak, when they write. When they write, they can somehow use the grammatical techniques, but in speaking it's very difficult because you have to speak very fast. It's very important that you acquire any language. Unless you acquire it, you cannot use it like the mother tongue. So what's important here is that Noam Chomsky talks about LAD, the software, language acquisition device. Every human being has it in his or her brain. When you have a lot of exposure to the language, the machine works on it. Just you watch, just you listen, just you speak, just you write. So whatever you do in the language is difficult when you get it, but in course of time it becomes easy because of the like linguistic device, LAD, language acquisition device. So some automatic machines are also used for manufacturing work. Suppose one machine has been set down uh, below or beneath the tree. Some machine will work on and it will shake the tree, and all the ripe mangoes will drop on the truck, on the boat, and uh, with the help of machine all the mangoes will be processed, and at the end the juice may get out of the as the final product. So what is important is that you listen and you watch, you write and read, and you don't care the grammar, you don't care anything. In course of time, what happens that the language has come inside your brain, it's been processed by the machine LED, and in course of time the language you have learned can be used like your mother tongue. So if you want to learn English as you have learned Bangla, or if you want to acquire English like Bangla, all you have to do is to expose yourself to language. Suppose you're watching and watching and watching, as the input is in your brain and LED will process it. You're reading and reading and reading, you're writing and writing and writing. Yeah, this is how you can put a lot of language in your brains, and there you have the LED that will use, manufacture, automatically process the input, and in return you will have the output like Bangla. So the same way I teach at UITS, I also taught at different other places, especially this method was used at Lagos in Rajshahi town long back. It was by Professor Ali Arifur Rahman. There were four skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking, because at the time the listening materials were very scarce, very difficult to get listening materials. But now we have a lot of listening materials. So what is better is to have input by the listening material. There are videos in my channel. If you just type in YouTube Wahidur comedy, then you'll have a lot of videos. These videos are created by American scholars so that the people around the world can pick up the language without any difficulty, because this comedy is enjoyable, is will generate a lot of laughter. So in course of time, the language will be very easy. But if you want to catch the language, you cannot learn it. Suppose you go to primary school, even you go to nursery. Yeah, it happens in English medium schools. Teachers speak English. The books are all in English. The students are also supposed to write everything in English. That is why the students in English medium school pick up the language very easily. And if you go to America or an English-speaking country, you can also pick up the language, because you have lot of exposure there. But when you are in Dhaka, when you're in Rajshahi, or in Bangladesh, and you don't have the language input, when you don't watch programs, when you don't have the access to listening material, what will happen? You'll just read a little, you'll write a little, and you'll practice the grammatical items, and in the course of time you have worked hard, but the language hasn't improved at all. If there are professors, they can write very good English, they understand reading books well, but what is important is that they cannot pronounce, they cannot speak properly. So there is the problem. When they listen to some material, some movie, they can't understand. So if you know English, it means you can write and read and speak and write, everything you can do. You can watch television, you can watch YouTube videos, and you have to understand. If you understand well, then it means that you know English. So what matters is that people don't care lad, teachers don't care lad, they don't know much about it, they don't have the philosophical interpretation on this. But I've been thinking, I've been researching on this language for 30 or over 30 years, maybe 35 years. So what's important is that you have to have the language exposure. If you have a lot of, I suppose you're watching for 10,000 hours, it means your English will be fantastic. You can understand movies, you can speak better, you can write better, you can even spell better, because this comedy is full of hard-coded subtitles. Whatever is said is written there, skin subtitles. and in such a way the language is improved so that the people who listen to this, watch this program, can also use it in speaking and writing and in reading material as well. When you're watching this, you're also reading the subtitles. So this is the best way. So what I say is that as you a child, you listen to the language spoken by your parents, the teachers, the surrounding. You went on for over 1 year, and then you start speaking with one word, 2 words, 3 words. This is how one day, after maybe 2 years, you can speak very good Bangla, and in 5 years' time, you'll find that your Bangla is very good. If you are if you're born in English-speaking country, your English would be quite uh, well. So in course of 1 year, 2 years, 3 or 4, 5 years, you can pick up English language. But the condition is you have to make the LAD lad use. You have to just listen for 1 year. Try to listen to English programs for about 10,000 hours. You'll find that your English is now much better. Is almost fantastic. And if you want to learn English by acquiring grammatical knowledge, competence, you just memorize vocabulary, you just memorize some sentence structures. In the end, it will not work. You can write somewhat, you can use your language for reading, a little bit for writing, but it's not going to be like your mother tongue. So that's the only one way you can pick up one language like your mother tongue is by using LAD, language acquisition device. That's it for now. Next time I'll have some other videos on English lessons. Thank you very much.